Exactly, this FDI easing off with China news really means for the entire EMS play. And who better than Mr. Ramesh Unnikanan, the executive VC at Kaynes, joining in on the show right now to talk about exactly that. Ramesh, hi, morning. Good to have you on ET now. Tell me
Good
how
morning.
this PN3 norms easing, how does it impact a company such as yours? Would you look to explore JVs or technology partnerships with now Chinese component manufacturers?
Of course, this is something which we were all looking for a long time. We should welcome Government of India's decision. This will help higher technologies to come in into India faster. If we have to start from the beginning, then it takes long time for us to implement. So that way, this will definitely help us. India as a country, EMS as a sector, because electronics, the high tech and high impact industry, where a lot of indigenization can be done quickly by having JVs and bringing technology partners from outside.
Interesting.
Secondly, this is something which will help us because one is it is given a normal route without any approval itself with a 10%, and then anything above that up to 60% we can look at 60 days. So this is something we are really welcoming, and it will help us to do it. It is also feasible. It would propel India from a major electronic manufacturing player in the days to come in. This is my viewpoint.
Okay, give us a sense, Mr. Kunikanan. What is the kind of what are the components that you're looking for in terms of sourcing from China, and what is it that this will do for Kaynes Tech in particular? Give us a sense of how that plays out and whether you're exploring JVs already.
We are already with our ECM applications on the camera side. We have applied on the display side as well as on the component side. So if you look at all the three, we are exploring JVs. Our concern and the Chinese partners' concern was getting approval. So this is something which has eased out. When I say component, we have applied for a passive component. That means resistors, capacitors, making in India. We have also applied for a display. So display, our partner is ready. We are signed the final agreement, and Government of India is also going to approve us. So this is something which is going to make our job easier because of this JV happening. They also will have a small investment. So this is something really we welcome, and we are really happy. All my Chinese partners have expressed their happiness today morning itself through WhatsApp.
Good to hear that. Also, Ramesh, could local component manufacturing meaningfully improve margins and supply chain stability for you at Kaynes?
More than margins, it is supply chain efficiencies which will come in. Secondly, what is happening is all these small impact on war and other things in the long term will all vanish if we have local manufacturing. And then local industry will grow with the ecosystem developing all around. So this is something which is really going to help us. Then freight cost, when it comes to the cost, freight cost, and Indian industry has proven in the past that they will bring down the cost. So I'm sure and certain industries will get benefited out of it. More and more employment also will create because of this.
How quickly can things start rolling on ground, Mr. Kunikanan? Does this mean that it materially improves prospects as early as FY27, or will this be FY28, FY29 kind of a story?
My view is this will start rolling out in 27 itself. Why? Because one is government has announced more budget in their budget program. ECMS program has been doubled. So with that coming in and this type of a big change, we were all asking the other day to ministry whether we can ease out Chinese people's visa to India. So all these things are going to get eased out. So I'm sure and certain you will see the change immediately. Industry would really grow big.
Just I know that you've been non-committal with regard to margins, but give us a sense. How much of a margin uptick do you see as a result of this playing out?
Nothing immediately. Maybe in the days to come in, you will see a sharp upward of anything between 1 to 3%. Because this is something, but see in EMS industry, the end customer takes away most of the margins. So, but net effect, there will be anything between 1 to 2% is what my view is.
Right. Ramesh, tell us a little bit more about in detail. You did talk about as to how enthused your Chinese counterparts were. But what exactly is the kind of tie-up? How big could this, tie-up really be in terms of, the monetary value? What exactly are you exploring?
We are exploring for making displays in India. Now, this is something which is going to be a large business of around anything between north of 1,500 crores as far as the top line is concerned. Investment is not that high in phase one. Phase two will be little more, but with ECMS scheme around, I'm sure and certain this type of investments it can absorb. So that is on the display side. On the component side also, my partner says he can bring in even up to 50%. So this is something that means he's looking at India as a large player. So this also can be anything north upward to 500, 600 crores on the top line. And when it comes to camera module, this is a future. And for companies like us, it is really good because we have already invested on the OSAT. So that will help growing to the next level. My view is next 3 to 5 years, these benefits will bring in for a company like Kaynes itself around 3 to 4,000 crores of top line with the projects which we are working in.
4,000 crore of top line is what this will add to your PNL. How many years, sir, will this add? 3 to 4,000 crore?
This will take to 3 to 5 years.
3 to 5 years. Okay.
Yes.
But that is material, given that for you, it will be material for you. And then you're saying that there's going to be margin expansion on top of that because you're currently doing a 3,500 crore kind of top line. So 3 to 4,000 crore addition to that. And then you've guided for $1 billion top line as well, if I recall correctly. In what pockets or spaces will this opportunity come up for you in? Because you're present in plenty of spaces. You're present in auto, industrial EV, aerospace, medical, and IoT consumer. Will the benefits accrue across the board?
You will see this growth on the EV and auto sector. You will see this growth on the industrial sector. Defense, aerospace also you will see because most of these areas, localization is just starting. Whereas automobile is something which they have completed around 50%. Still 100% displays or camera modules, all are being brought and imported. So if these can be localized, that becomes a top line of companies like us. I today feel the number of EMS companies which we are today, all of us working, is not sufficient to meet the demand. Localization will be so high. Bareboard also, I see very less people coming in. Only 2-3 companies have come in. So all of them will be fully flooded with orders. But this JV may bring in some more JVs to India and some more Chinese companies will come in.
If you
they are exploring markets, their own internal markets have come down and they are exploring more and more markets.
What will the kind of equity ownership be between you and your Chinese counterparts? Do you have a thought or a view with regard to that, or it's still too early?
Earlier, we were all talking about 20-30% to them and balance with us. Now I'll have to wait and see whether they'll show more interest. In the beginning, they were showing more interest to put in, but since they felt they'll not get approval, they reduced it to 20%. But now, when there is an open route and a 60 days commitment,
right,
I'm sure certain there will be a pushback to us to add there.
And will they be comfortable with giving you 70% and retaining only maybe 25-30?
Initially, they were
Right.
comfortable. It took some time for us to convince them, but they were comfortable. I'm sure and certain there will be a pushback. Naturally, every businessman will do that. We will also do it.
Okay, sure. Mr. Kunikanan, it's been great chatting with you as always. You've always been candid with us, and thank you so much for coming this morning and giving us that.
Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to talk.
All right,
Thank
what
you.
we'll do is slip into a very short break, viewers. Come back with more. Plenty with regard to corporate. Let's quickly pull up the chart of Kaynes Tech. I wonder if there's a move on the stock price. From the lows, of course, of the day, we've seen a decent recovery where Kaynes Tech is concerned. So that's something that we'll continue to monitor. But what we'll do is slip into a very short break, come back with more. Another corporate voice on the other side of this break. Stay with us.